of, only to realize that it's much harder than you thought? This was the case for me when I tried and struggled to finish a film project during my sophomore year of high school. Last year, my film teacher assigned us a project to produce a short PSA on a topic of our choosing. I remember being so excited because it was always my dream to become a filmmaker, specifically a film director, and this was my chance to gain some experience. I had missed out on doing the first film project earlier in the year due to COVID, so for me, it was my first time. I would soon come to realize that missing that first project meant that I lacked the knowledge and experience needed to handle the challenges that would come. Before we started shooting, my film teacher reviewed with us the steps to schedule a day to shoot. To first email the teachers about when they're available, to email the teachers of my crew and myself to ask if we can be pulled out during that period, to put the planned shoot on Google Calendar, and to verbally confirm with her before scheduling. This procedural knowledge about scheduling was crucial to the production process and would have ensured that my shoots went better than they did. We were also expected to remember the many camera shots, angles, and movements, some of which include the wide shot, medium wide shot, and close-ups for camera shots, high angle and Dutch tilt for camera angles, and the pan or tilt for camera movements, and apply that declarative knowledge to our production process. This experience applied aspects of the conditions of learning theory, in which it stimulated the recollection of information regarding the cinematography of my film, provided positive and negative feedback on my leadership skills, and attempted to encourage me to transfer the knowledge I retained from class to real life. However, this theory was not successful at the time with helping me learn how to lead and produce films, which only made the situation worse. I was the first person out of my group to shoot my film, and I immediately ran into several problems. To start, I tried to communicate with my crew to work out a schedule that works for all of us, but no one responded back until the day before I was supposed to start filming. Then, there were multiple times where I emailed teachers last minute or at an inconvenient time, where one or more of my crew members were absent for multiple days, which led to my teacher canceling the shoot. I struggled to find any of my peers that were willing to be a part of my film. I also misunderstood the rules multiple times. I assumed that if I scheduled a day to shoot on Google Calendar, then my teacher would see it, only to be proven wrong when she didn't know, and thus canceling my shoot that day. This situation required problem solving, or the ability to find a solution to an unexpected problem. I was unable to at the time because of how overwhelmed I was. I expressed my anxiety and frustration to my teacher, telling her that since it was my first time filming, I was still somewhat unfamiliar with the rules. But my teacher was very frustrated with me and reprimanded me for the many mistakes I made by canceling production that day. I was very embarrassed, and the realization that I had no idea what I was doing overwhelmed me so much that my mom had to ask my teacher to pull the plug on the project. By that point, out of the 2 weeks I had to film, I had only gotten footage of 2 people, one of those people being myself. To say I was very disappointed would be an understatement. At that moment, I was unable to truly reflect on the experience due to how heartbroken and stressed out I was. From a humanist perspective, the emotional and mental states of the learner have an impact on their ability to learn and process info. So my shaky emotional state may have hindered my ability to learn from my mistakes. However, over time, I was able to reflect on the mistakes I made during this process and grow from them. So now, during my junior year, where I'm participating in another production process, thanks to the exposure I got from this transformative experience, I can ensure that I don't repeat those mistakes again. My growth from this experience demonstrates experiential learning, which is a process where the learner experiments, reflects on the results, and applies their learning to new experiences. Because of this failed process, I was able to take what I learned from that in order to become a better filmmaker and start on the path towards my goals.